Hey y'all, I'd like to welcome you guys to Morning Mimosas. My name is Holly, aka Hanaya the Goddess. And as you guys know, we put value in criminal justice, promoting healing and education for our Black community. So today, guys, we have a special treat. But before we do that, let me go ahead and welcome our guest host, Miss Globe, first and foremost.
Hi, good morning. I'm glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you back again. So, y'all, this episode is going to be really, really nice. We're going to be talking about being moms and being Black moms and the mental health stigma behind that, and then just everything else that we're going to be getting into today. But we're actually going to go ahead and welcome our first guest. You guys know her. She's all over. Let me tell y'all. She's also my relative, Jayda. Let me present a little something about her real quick. Yes, yes, yes. I love this clip of her. And if y'all see me dancing, that's just what it is.
Pussy the thong bustin' on my tight jeans. Okay, rocks on my fingers like a nigga wife me. Got another shorty, shit ain't nothing like me. Yeah, about to catch another fight. Yeah, the apple about to make him wanna bite. I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, don't go night, no. If you broke, then you gotta let it go. You can have anybody, any money, go. What you can do, what you can. Yeah, cause girls is players too. Yeah, cause girls is players too.
I love it.
All right, let's welcome Jada, y'all.
Hi, you guys. Good morning to y'all. But good afternoon where I'm at. Oh my God. I was literally blushing. I was like, that's me. That's me. I get uncomfortable when people like show me my videos, but I love your videos. I'm like, okay, thanks. Glad to be here, y'all. Glad to be here.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Mhm.
And now we're going to go ahead and introduce our guest goddess for the day. And we're going to also show a clip of her, Miss Bri. You guys know me. I love to present, of course, because it keeps y'all entertained. But we're going to go ahead and show a little clip of her, give y'all a feel of who she is.
I never made love, no, I never did. But I should know how to be that girl. I prove it to you.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and welcome Miss Bri to Morning Mimosas.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
All right. So, guys, let's get right to it. So, what's the topic of today? Well, mostly we're going to be talking about you, Miss Bree. So, we're actually going to start with you, and then we're going to get into everything else later. Um, so, tell us about yourself, and then also tell us about your YouTube channel.
Well, I'm BriRosche, or y'all can call me Briana. I'm from Aurora, Colorado, and I'm an influencer slash entrepreneur. I own my own boutique, and I also just started back into YouTubing. BriRosche is the channel name, and I just like to try to post motivational videos, especially for Black moms, fellow Black moms who may go through the same thing, and just love to try to empower us as a people because I know it gets rough being a Black mom at times, and I've been in a situation where we'll get into that, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm
All right,
very
y'all.
nervous also.
So sorry to cut you off, but my collaborator, I think she was having some technical difficulties. So here's Talk with Neicee. She is also here, y'all.
Sorry.
It's perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. Go ahead and continue, Miss Bree.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm very nervous. This is my first ever podcast, so and this is me like coming out of my like box. So coming out of my shell, I would say. So yeah, just bear
Okay.
with me, y'all.
Okay. That's absolutely okay. We can actually just go around the room and talk about our different entertainment experiences. Because as you guys know, my girl Neicee also has a podcast too. So Neicee, you want to go ahead and talk about what you do as well?
Yes. So I just started my podcast earlier this year in January. I did procrastinate a lot about getting started. Something new that I was coming over to. Um, so on that podcast, I'm open to everything. I'm not picky. I think my first one, no, my second one was with Holly, and we kind of talked about a couple of things, and her and Carly gave me a couple of pointers, and I took some of the advice that they spoke with me about. Um, that's pretty much it. I've interviewed a Detroit actor. I've interviewed a lady who does nails. Um, I just recently interviewed a guy who is from Florida, and he does music. He's an artist. So I'm just looking forward to speaking with more people, talking a little bit more about things that we all deal with in life and our day to day things and stuff like that.
Okay, okay. All right. Miss Globe.
So I don't have my own podcast, but I am the permanent guest host of this one, and I have been interviewed on one other before. Um, I haven't really scoped out what I want to do creatively yet. The only thing that I do consistently is perform for burlesque shows. So I'll have a few of those coming up that I can give more details about later this spring and summer. But I'm more of a live action person right now.
Okay, okay. Jada.
Be professional. So I'm a content creator full time, also full time mom, full time bad bitch. Uh, kidding. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Part time, but mostly I just do. I'm trying to lean into mommy, but majority of my videos is like throwbacks and music. And this is my first podcast, so excuse if I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous all the time, but just for this, because it's like my cousin, she's doing it big and better. But yeah, it's just basically trying to explore more out of the music. I'm still doing music, but like more mommy lifestyle, general get ready with me. So I'll be doing that later on, like the summertime, because I won't
Okay.
be living where I'm living. I'll be in a different state. But yeah, that's basically what I do, and also just up and living, being alone. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So this question will be for everyone, but it'll be for our guest first. So, how do you balance being a mom, running your own business, and just life? And that's going to be a question for all of you. So, get your answers ready.
Um, oof. I would say just like honestly, I take it one day at a time. um, I am like so big on trying to prioritize and like stay organized, but honestly, I just take it one day at a time because I feel like if I overwhelm myself, I'll get into a whole frenzy. So I've just been trying to take it one day at a time, balancing each thing day by day.
Okay. Nisi, you there? We can't hear you.
So I'm all over and that is, you can't hear me?
Now we can.
You said you can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you
Oh,
guys
okay.
hear her?
Oh, I was
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, I could be a mess at times. I do need to work on getting organized, but I do my best. I try to get everything done. It has truly become a challenge because um, Holly, I told you I have those Irish twins, and they are so close in age. Oh my goodness. Um, but I don't know.
You completely got off the screen. It is now black. Are you there? Are you able to hear us?
And to me as much during the week because I feel like that takes a lot of time away from them, being with them during the week.
Okay. Yeah, we're having a hard time hearing you, but I we got it.
Are you?
We got it. We got it though. Globe?
Oh, so I do not own my own business. I am a corporate drone. Um, but balancing that is still pretty difficult. So I applaud and am in awe of mothers who have their own businesses because you make your own hours. And I do not have the discipline to stick to a schedule without one already just kind of set for me. My children actually inspire me to keep a schedule outside of work. They inspired me to have that kind of discipline. And it's just really, I just always focus on what I want for them, and I make sure my choices align with that. So there's not a balance right now with motherhood, work, and investing in my fiance romantically. I am still struggling to find that balance. The the best thing I do is probably just talk about it, and so we're just aware, like, hey, we know this is a rough week, but we have to pin it in to make some time for each other or make some time for ourselves soon. That's kind of day by day, like Bree mentioned earlier. That's kind of how we're going right now, especially since they're so young.
Definitely understand that. I also something that Neicee said, obviously, I think she's having some issues, but I also have Irish twins.
Mhm.
My kids are 9.5 months apart. So I definitely know that struggle of trying to balance two toddlers and trying to run my podcast and then doing the activism work that I do in the background. So I definitely understand that. Jada?
So I don't run a business. Maybe in the future, who knows? But like being a content creator and being a mom, it's the most exhausting thing in the world. When I was pregnant and watching TikTok videos of moms, you're like, oh, this is easy. Like, okay, I got it. And then when you're in the real world, you're like, this is ghetto. Like, what? No, I'm not gonna hold you. And people like when people see other moms, oh, you make it look so easy. It
Yeah.
makes you want to break down and cry because it's like it's not easy.
No.
So many mental breakdowns. Like if I plan something and like let's just say I plan 5 songs. Okay, we're gonna do these 5 songs. He wakes up, I get 2 out of the 5. I can't cry. I can only be proud of myself because like, okay, I did this, whatever. So I think I basically planning, like Globe said, I have to have the discipline schedule. So to plan. And also like I'm trying to get my son into like a better sleep schedule. So that's where to a point where when I wake up, I don't want to do videos. I'm like, I just want to sleep. But I'd be like, okay, where are the journey I'm going to, I can't just sleep all day. I'm doing it for him and I'm doing it for myself and not for our family. And there'd be times where if I get off, like if I stop doing videos, like let's just say I'm done for videos of the day and I don't talk to my boyfriend. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be on my phone. I just want to be by myself. There'll be times where, as a mom, I feel like everyone has experienced this where you lock yourself in the bathroom, you lock yourself somewhere just to have that alone time. And
Okay,
you don't
for
even
sure.
Yes,
cry.
absolutely.
Okay. Yes, most definitely.
Cry.
Phew.
You just to breathe. And then you get you get that little sickness, like, ooh, I miss my child. So you go back and you start crying like, okay, why? But it's definitely scheduling, take it one day at a time. And also just like affirmations that's been helping me where I'm like, okay, I can do this today. I'm doing this for my son. Don't cry today. Whatever videos you get out, it's not your fault. At least you got at least one video, 2 videos out. I like to beat myself up. I put myself in a higher expectation because growing up culturally, that's for first daughters, that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
So I tend to beat myself up, and I always have to tell myself, like, it's okay. Even if you don't make a video, you thought about it, like my boyfriend be like, it's okay, you just made one video, it's a big deal. And you're like, big deal. So I'm taking it day by day, and also like trying to be kind to myself. I feel like I've been through these years before I even thought about a child. I've been very mean to myself. I haven't been spiritually, mostly verbally welcoming myself as a person. Now, because I'm a mother, I get mad at myself. Like, I'm only kind to myself because I'm a mom. Why wasn't I this kind to myself when I didn't have kids? So
Right.
it's exhausting, but it's a blessing.
I definitely see that. So y'all, we're actually gonna go into the time that I told y'all we were gonna sit down for about 9 minutes now. We're actually gonna be presenting a video. As Globe knows, I love TED Talks. And this is actually a lady. Her name is Tanya Hayles. She's in Toronto, Canada. She has a organization called Black Moms Connect, and I'm actually trying to see if I can get in touch with her personally to see if she can, or if I can maybe start a branch here in Colorado. So I'm actually going to go ahead and share that with you guys now. And we're just going to sit here and just take it all in. And I hope you guys get something out of this. But let's go ahead and share. All right.
Like most Black folks, I assumed our melanin protected us from the sun. Turns out it doesn't. Picture it. It was a beautiful summer day, so I decided to take my then 2-year-old to the splash pad. The sun was at its peak, the rays were getting hotter and hotter on my skin, and that's when I thought to myself, do they make sunscreen for Black people? Protecting my son's skin was now on my radar, and I needed help in figuring out how to do so. It took becoming a parent for me to figure out and care about this, and I wouldn't find a solution for another 2 years. But we'll get to that later. It was 2015, and like most new moms, I was in online global communities. We would share and get advice on how not to panic the first time they sleep through the night, how to get them to eat more vegetables, I'm still working on that one, and how soon is too soon for a cell phone. But being Black adds more layers to motherhood, like finding the right sunscreen. So I went to these mom groups and I asked, and the answer I got, silence. Most things to do with race, even this simple question, typically are. This isn't unusual. Look at mom influencers on Instagram or commercials for baby products, and you'll see that motherhood isn't made for, studied, or celebrated with women who look like me in mind. So much so that in 2021, an image of a Black pregnant woman with her fetus went viral. It was the first time Black pregnancy was depicted in medical illustrations, like ever. It was sadly revolutionary. When I was a kid, my favorite part about going to the toy store, the hot pink section. I was obsessed with Barbie. And growing up in the 80s, white dolls were the default. Now, she would occasionally have a Black friend named Christy, but she made a rare appearance like Black History Month does.
Okay.
And when I got hurt, I plastered myself with those flesh tone Band-Aids. I don't know about you, but those nude Band-Aids are definitely not nude on me.
Okay.
Today, we have Doc McMuffins and dolls that celebrate different hair textures and shades of brown. Even Crayola and Band-Aid finally heard the plight of Black parents everywhere and introduced different shades of skin tones. Crayons and dolls are the lighter conversations that Black moms have. But eventually, they get heavier. Like when 5-year-olds are called the N-word on school playgrounds. 5-year-olds. Or, like in my own little brother's case, we have to move schools after his 3rd grade teacher calls him a monkey. I wasn't gonna do it. When other kids are thinking about candy and Santa, our kids and us as their moms are preparing for racism. It is a poison we cannot protect them from. Navigating the education system as a Black parent, in one word, is exhausting. And it starts with trying to figure out what school to enroll them into. Here's an example. My son's first school in the East End of Toronto raised $11,000 in 1 year. We ended up moving, and his new school raised $14,000 in 3 days. We have to choose between schools that have better access to tech, better resources, better field trips, but with less diversity, versus under-resourced schools with kids and teachers that look like them. And while there's no right or wrong answer, it certainly feels like there is. I'm dealing with the consequences of that as my son is grappling with feeling like the chocolate chip in the cookie. Moral of the story, we need more chocolate chips. And who doesn't like more chocolate chips? I started Black Moms Connection in 2015 to answer that original sunscreen question. I wanted to ask Black questions and get Black answers. We share and connect with each other, and today we're an online global village of almost 30,000 with chapters from Atlanta to Alberta to Asia. In 2016, we went from 400 members to 4,000 in 2 months. It was after Trayvon Martin and Black Lives Matter was created. Black moms needed a space to say, I'm afraid for myself, I'm afraid for my son, without being told we're just bringing up the race cards or that others don't see color. There was no retort of all lives matter because Black women know more than anyone that is 100% untrue. If all lives did matter, BMC wouldn't need to exist. Now, we know what people think and say about us. We're just ghetto baby mamas leeching off the welfare system. We're having multiple babies with men floating in and out of jail. We're always single, never in loving partnered relationships. We buy Jordans over jackets. We prioritize basketball over books. Our kids only know Drake instead of jazz. But stereotypes and systemic biases are the reason why 42% of all the kids in the care of the Children's Aid Society of Toronto are Black. If my own mom, who became a widow when I was 2, hadn't moved us north of the city, me and my siblings could have easily been a part of that statistic. It's important to note, Black mothers are not a monolith. I myself go against what society thinks of Black single mothers. However, my son plays chess and basketball. He's got Nikes and stocks, except for they're not doing so well right now. Think about that. I'm a part of and lead a community that has more flavors than Baskin Robbins. And there's some moms who are like me and others who aren't, but we all share the same challenges in raising our Black children. Black Moms Connection mission is to provide culturally relevant tools and resources to empower and educate the Black mom and her family, like providing emergency grants so she can buy formula, or making a payment to a rent and mortgage company when she's at risk of housing insecurity, or creating financial literacy programs taught by Black professionals to help her make more, save more, and create generational wealth. Today, moms have been able to do amazing things like knock out 20K in debt, buy their first investment properties, and get their kids into stocks and savings. When you fund and support Black moms, amazing things can happen, like finally finding the right sunscreen. BMC is like my second born. Like my first, I have lofty goals for it to grow and be great. One of those is to open a 24-hour childcare center. First, for selfish reasons, sometimes a mom just wants to go to the movies and not have to share the popcorn. Secondly, and most importantly, It will help moms working outside 9-to-5 jobs and be a game changer for her to have a place to drop her children off while she's at work. I leave you with this challenge. Go to Google image search and type in the word mom. Pay attention to how long you're scrolling before you see a woman who looks like me. If you want to go one step further, type in Black mom. But hint, some of those results may not be safe for work. But then what? Remember what I said earlier about when you fund and support Black moms, great things can happen? Find a way to do that in a way that is meaningful to you. This is why I'm here today, to pull the curtain back on a hidden and silent problem that faces Black moms every day in big and small ways. Healthy moms equal healthy families, cities, and economies, and we all win when that includes us all. Thank you.
I absolutely love that clip. Because she said some real stuff. Can I get y'all's opinion on that? Let's start with our guest. What did you think about that?
Oof, jam-packed, um, with a whole bunch of stuff. Like the racism part, I can most definitely like, I guess what is the word I'm trying to find? I agree with that 100%. Even though my sons, they don't go to schools yet. Um, Javel, he's 4. He's about, I'm going to get ready to enroll him in the school for next year, for preschool. And I really want, a safe environment for my kid. And like she said, you have to choose between a nice school with, nice access to technology, but it's not a lot of diversity. Or you can, choose for him to be around a nice amount of diversity and have to deal with, you know, like having to be with gangs and all sorts of stuff. So it's hard being a Black mom. Like she said, when you go and look up mom, you ain't gonna see nothing but white moms until you see someone that looks like a Black mom. And it's nerve wracking because it's like with race, we always get the short end of stick of everything. It's not just the school system, it's the justice system,
Yes.
it's a lot. But yeah, she had me almost shed a tear because it's so real. Like, especially when you have a Black son. Whew, don't get me started. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree there. My
Yeah.
son's only 2, but they'll be starting school this year, so I just don't want them to
Mm-hmm.
experience that even in preschool. So I definitely feel
Mm-hmm.
that. Globe.
Yeah, I definitely can relate. My daughter is in preschool right now, and she's going to elementary school soon. I actually, um, tried to get her enrolled in, excuse me, the 5280 Freedom School, the charter school that was trying to be promoted. However, they were just a few people short. Of being able to open. So we didn't have enough Black families come through for that. But that was going to be
Mm-hmm.
something I wanted for her, so she can be surrounded by people that look like her. And the curriculum was kind of centered around um, Black academics and Black scholars and things like that. So I thought that would have been really empowering, especially so young. Um, and at that age, there's not a lot of resources that are needed at the moment. So getting that foundation of feeling good enough in school, I thought that was going to be a utopia. However, not enough Black families invested in that, and so she's going to be going to preschool or going to elementary, where she went to preschool, and it's nice. It's nice. We live in a nice neighborhood, so it's a nice school. It's a little diverse. However, definitely not diverse enough. She was the only Black kid recognized for what they call stripe behavior. There's this big pep rally, and it was a whole, like, there were 2 people from every classroom, from every grade recognized. and she was the only Black kid up there that was recognized for straight behavior, which are just like some, cliche principles. And me and my partner noticed that, and we're just like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So we continue to promote Black excellence at home, and we have those hard conversations because she's already asking about it, you know. um, that is the thing when your kids are finally outside of your home, and they're going to be bright kids because you guys are bright women. They are going to ask about those questions. So I thought it would happen later, maybe 6, 7 years old. No, as soon as they're out of the home, they're going to start asking. Um, they're going to start coloring and asking questions. So just brace yourselves. 'Cause that cute little bubble will be popped. Um, but they're smart. The cool thing is they're smart, and we do have a lot more power than people would like to make us believe. We do have a lot of power. So just as a mother with a semi-older child, I want to let you guys know that you can really set that foundation. Oh, Holly, you're I think you're muted, or we can't hear you right now.
My bad. I had turned it down. No, I was just saying an award for straight behavior. I'm like, that's interesting. Getting awarded for
Oh, Stripe.
stripe behavior.
Mhm.
Okay.
It stands for
Okay.
like smart, I don't know, respectable. I forget what the T, like they're all just cute little kid principles because their mascot's a tiger. But like smart,
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes
yeah,
sense. Okay.
integrity and something else. Yeah.
Okay. That's great like frosted flakes. Okay. That's the first thing I thought of was great like
Yeah.
frosted flakes. Well, Jada, I know that you're still technically in the infant stage, even though my nephew will be one soon.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
but
remind me.
how do you feel about what was said? Even though I know you don't have a child in school yet, but was any of that like relatable to you? How did you feel about that?
It was big time. Like Globe was talking about how your daughter went to a school and she's the only Black kid. I understand. And I remember seeing a post a couple years ago saying, I think at the beginning talking to my boyfriend saying that if you're a brown and Black parent, putting your kid into a school like that is the most selfish thing ever. And I remember being like, I agree. And there's people that are ha-haing it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand. But everyone's experience is different. But most majority, we have similar experiences, and I understand because, like you say, kids ask questions. Kids are not stupid. They're very, very smart little individuals. They will go home and ask questions like, well, how come I'm the only one? How come I'm this and that? How come you're making fun of my features? Like, I wanted to ask questions like that to my parents, but how they are versus like, with parents, they want to have that force to be reckoned with. They want to be okay, in fear of me and respect me. It's like you have to choose one.
Yes,
Right.
So
you
I
do.
understand,
I
and also
agree.
getting those awards. I used to get a lot of awards like that just because I was Black. And I remember telling my dad, like, I didn't even return, I didn't bring in my homework. All I had was perfect attendance, and you gave me this award. Something's not right. And as a kid, you know this, but you don't want to say anything to your parents because, number one, most majority of parents, like my parents, immigrant parents, they want to find the best neighborhood for their kids. Well, I don't want my kids to go to school, because I hear, ooh, okay, Aurora, ooh, I don't want to put there because there's a lot of Black kids there. That's how my parents used to think. And when I got old, I'm like, how come we can't live in Aurora? How come we can't live in Denver? Oh, nah, nah, nah. And the older I got, I understand. And I understand, but I don't. Because like
Hmm.
I want to be around people that walk and talk like me. Ever since I was little. Because why am I going to school with girls that are making fun of my hair? Why am I going to school with girls that are cutting my braids off?
Exactly.
And I have to get in trouble and I'm getting the whoopings. And I didn't even do nothing. And I don't want my future daughter or my son to go through that. I don't want my son, if I get his hair done, someone messes up or cuts it. I don't want him to come home and he's like, oh, I don't want to show my hair because I don't want to get a call from the teacher like, oh, well, your son doesn't want to show his hair because he's scared. Why are you scared? Like she was saying overall, like not only representation matters, but also giving your kid that knowledge matters.
Mhm.
And I feel like with this newer generation, I have very, very high hopes because I don't want my son. I mean, there are kids going to be, I mean, kids are kids. They laugh at things that as parents, we're like,
Right.
as you know, other parents do. And kids are going to notice things. And if kids don't have that confidence at home, how are they going to have that confidence outside? How do they have that confidence in the real world when they get older? That's where self-identity comes, insecurity, and they just want to close this whole, like, it's just all matters to you. How you teach, what you teach your kids. If you want to be blunt, be blunt. If you want to sugarcoat, by all means, I understand. But when she was talking about how, for like you said, like we always get the end of the stick, I totally agree. And it's not only with school, it's with medical world, it's with in the industry, it's with being a content creator, with being a businesswoman. We have to work 5 times as hard to get that little stick. And
Right.
it's ridiculous. And that's why, like, I'm not nervous for my son because I'm prepared for my son. I'm just nervous if I have to put my hands on these parents.
Right. Okay.
Listen.
Because
Listen, that part.
they act so dense. You know why your kid's doing this. You know what your kid's doing. My kid's coming to class that confident. Your kid has to hurt my child. No. I don't know how many times my mother came to school cussing at the teacher. I don't know how many times, like, I was crying to my parents, like, oh, am I ugly? Is my eyes big? My features? Oh, no. And it's like, now I'm like, you're just saying this to my parents. And now, if your parents don't tell you, like, oh, you're beautiful, and I see more videos of Black moms, like, I do affirmations of my kids. I don't care how old they are. It makes my heart melt. That's why I have very high hopes for this generation, because it's like you're doing affirmations. You're telling your kid to be strong. I'm not saying the other generation has. I know there's parents out there, but I feel like there's some parents like mine. They'd be like, okay, we tell her this a couple times, she'd be all right. But I was like, I need it every day because you don't know it's going to affect you when you get older.
Exactly.
And that's where the things hit the fan. And I don't know. I'm not scared. I'm just scared for the parents because the way I'm going to cuss them out, I don't think, you're not going to ruin my child's sunshine because your little darkness of rain over here.
Right.
Trying to ruin his grade. Okay. You just like Globe said, you just have to, like, kids start asking questions in which will make you uncomfortable. Well, you can't just dismiss it. You can't just be like, oh, well, you have to be like, okay, well, because you're black, okay, and this is going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is the real world. And I'm raising a boy. So it's like, I can tell him things, but his dad might tell him more. His dad, we come from 2 different worlds. I come from the suburbs, he comes from the hood. So his experience is going to be way different than his.
It is a good balance.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks. His experience will be similar like mine, except like what she was talking about schools. You want to put your kid in the school with kids that look like him. Cool. But they're not doing the resources. They're not doing tech. They're not doing sports. Okay, I'm going to put my kid in all this. There's a little bit of diversity, but they're going to make him, he's the trophy. They're going to put him like I always say they're going to make him like the jacket in the closet. They're going to wear him when they want to, but if they don't, they'll put it back in the closet. I always say that. Okay, that's how me and my siblings were.
That's how I was too.
Now, if we put him in that, he's gonna be a statistic. Well, he's gonna be a gangbanger. He's gonna be this and that. Well, and good and damn well, your kid is in the orchestra class and he's playing the trombone. He ain't no gangbanger. He lives in the suburbs, but it's the statistics. How people see us and they view it's ridiculous. It's insane. They don't care if you play the trombone. They don't care if you're a D1 college student. They just see a black kid and they just go with it. Yeah. So I'm just scared. I'm not scared, but it's like I'm ready, but I'm still scared. It's just a lot of shit going on, and things won't change. It's a repeated cycle. It's up to us to break that, to have that generational knowledge, generational wealth, and help our kids, and be like, this is what's going on. This is what I experienced. Me and your dad come from 2 different worlds, but you come into a world where you're going to manage, and we're going to help you to get through this, because I don't want you to be like how we got older and questioning us like, well, why are you in Brian's black school? Why aren't you, like my sister, she goes to HBCU. She goes to Tennessee State University. And I told her to go to HBCU because let me tell you something. I love HBCUs. but they got some problems. TSU, unfortunately, but I always tell my sister, like, one HBCU doesn't make all HBCU bad. The financial kind, like financial reasons, they are very horrible. But other HBCUs with financial reasons is very great. And I wish she had more time into it. She got accepted to like more than 10 schools, 10 HBCUs, you know. And I'm just like, it was just like pros and cons. I understand she's her own little person. And I was telling her, like, you need to find another HBCU. She's like, well, no, I want to go to CSU. And I'm like, you know, I understand, but it's like, okay, I understand, but it's up to her. I'm a huge HBCU fanatic because I didn't learn about HBCUs until I was a freshman in college. They didn't teach us this in my high school. So I was like, these schools for
Nope.
black people? And like my math teacher's a white person. He's like, yeah, you didn't know? And he looked at my face like, oh, they didn't teach you that. He's like, it's crazy because my high school team taught us that. And we went to all white school. And I was like,
It's that shit is truly amazing though.
yeah, it's really amazing. Like overall, I feel like I got from her video, representation matters, black parenthood matters, being black moms matter. It's up to us to just show the strength and knowledge through us, through our parents, through our ancestors, and just keep it through moving. And if they have questions, we don't need to dismiss them. Yeah.
Right. And we need to be proactive. That's the one thing that I wish my parents were on one accord and they were divorced. My mother, she'll go, "Oh, that's their problem. Like racism is like other people's problem." And I'm like, "But it's impacting me." And my father was just like on the whole other end of the spectrum. Like, don't trust these white people, even though, I kind of feel that way. But like, he made me watch Roots, and it was just like way too intense for the age I was. But now with all these different books out and different shows and things like that, now we have a black superhero. um, we do have a leg up in that. um, I just took my daughter to the book fair, and she saw her favorite book, Hair Love, there, and it's about the girl learning how to do her hair with her dad. And she's like, "Oh, this is my favorite book," and her friends were with us, and she shows her friends, she's like, "This is my favorite book, you should read it." And like Paul was just like laughing in the background, like chuckling, and her mother's uh, like her friend's mother's like, "Oh, what is the book? Let's check it out." Because he's like, "I want this book. I want this book," because they're like twins, and they ended up taking that book home, like because she just has so much pride, and she knows she's different, but she celebrates it. I mean, when we went to apply, I was I was there myself with my afro and everything, and she gets to wear hers. Um, she has, all the fun hairstyles and everything like that. So you just set that this is normal, this is okay, and she's just used to being celebrated, all of her features being celebrated, instead of just being looked at as different. She knows like her hair is beautiful. She knows her skin is beautiful. She loves those band-aids that are still kind of too dark. um, yeah, so just being proactive about it, I think, is having a way better impact on on her than my having forcing the parents, like cornering them to be react and respond, because they already have internalized some of what whoever talks first kind of is what they internalize. So we have to try to be the first to approach those conversations.
I agree, especially with the like you said, like the black books.
Mm.
Like if you guys are familiar, Jules TV, Gracie Corner,
Yes.
that's
Jules
like
TV, I love them.
they need to drop some more hits. I'm not playing with them, but
Okay.
my son loves it, and like I growing up, we used to watch black shows, black TV like that, but it wasn't as much as now. Now there's Vino and Fino, there's
Mm-hmm.
African like folk tale songs that in different languages that my son listens to, and it's like it melts my heart for these kids. I'm so jealous of these kids. Like, oh, they have the band-aids, they got just the cards, they have representation. Like having a mom like Globe got the afro. My mom can have that, I can have it. Who cares what anybody says? And she's like, not like, no, girl, don't do your hair like this. She's like, do do it and see what happens. Basically, that's what Globe's saying. If they make
Yep.
fun of you, see what happens. And they're not, because the confidence, the lightness of your daughter is just, I can tell it's amazing. And I can't wait for her in the future, like just with you and Beyonce, and just empowering her and empowering your son. Like that's just, it's just a beautiful thing. And I don't know, it just makes me so happy, y'all. Just having this representation, the Band-Aids, like I just can't wait. Also for books, like I think I was gonna order a book. It was like the Black Boy Joy book. And I saw someone that looked just like my son. He had the little Bantu. And I was like, this is my son, just a little bit older. So it's a wonderful thing.
It is a wonderful
It
thing.
really is.
Bree, do you want to go ahead and say any final words about anything that you have going on today, in the future, for our morning mimosa
Um,
viewers? And then I'm going to ask the same for you ladies. And then I'm going to have affirmations for us.
I would say, I don't know, be on the lookout for the relaunch for Queens World Fashion. And I'm gonna still be doing YouTube, not as consistent, just cause mommy life and like Jayda said, is ghetto at times. But
I give it 1 out of 5, one
man,
star.
man, but yeah, y'all still see some more YouTube for me and relaunch for Queens World Fashion.
We look forward to it. I will make sure to drop all of her links in the description, y'all. Miss Globe, anything that I think you told us about the burlesque shows. Is there anything else that you have going on that you want to tell the people?
Nope, not yet. I'm just mommying and working right now. As the weather gets hotter, that's when I'll be outside. um,
Okay.
doing a little more. I have some shows coming up in the next month or so. So,
Okay. Jada?
I'm still gonna make content consistently. Like I said, because I hopefully by God's grace, we're moving to ATL. As soon as we get our own little place, there'll be more mommy. Get ready with me, and I'm getting more comfortable showing my son. I was really private about that, just because you never know what people's intentions are. And like
yes.
nobody knows his name except Holly. His name is Arsalan. So Arsalan means like lion-hearted, warrior child.
Aw.
And like I haven't said his name yet. And I remember someone was telling me, like, we don't know your son's name. I'm like, oh, I just call him Baby A. So that's what everyone calls him. And like I just have like I'm now more comfortable showing my son in videos and just like doing a slideshow. So I'm getting better with the mommy mode on TikTok, because it's like, people love my son. Um, yeah, just being consistent. Like I said, 1 star for being a mom. This is the motherhood's ghetto. Okay, it's a beautiful thing, but it's ghetto. Like I said before, when I was pregnant, I watch mommy content, and these moms, no matter what race it is, they make it look so easy. Something like, okay, oh no, motherhood's whipping my ass. And not only that, you have to keep on top of it yourself, mental health. But it's like all when you're in the newborn phase, all you're focusing is about that baby. You don't even know your world's crashing. You don't even know your world's burning behind. It's just that child. And once your child gets older, and you know that you're in a wreck, you're like, oh no, like now I understand why my mom and other moms, like, you have to love yourself and take care of yourself first. Because if you
Amen.
don't love yourself and you don't take care of yourself, who's going to be there to love your child?
Mm,
And I'm learning
Exactly.
that slowly but surely. But when I like look at my son's picture when he's a little smaller, I don't want to get emotional. I can feel when I can feel my PPD. I
mm.
can feel like my sadness coming back in. But when I look at him when he's younger, I'm like, how come I didn't notice that and I can feel it now? So that's why I tell a lot of people, like, if you become a mom, just take care of yourself.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Mm.
Don't look through pictures when he's younger and you're like, I was sad when I took this picture.
Mhm.
I was angry because this is our first year anniversary. We lost our daughter. Don't just get that healed, and it's Sorry, y'all.
Oh, I just want to hug you.
You're okay. It's okay.
I'm a thug, so please don't cry. But I'm kidding. But yeah, I just looking at those pictures. I was just looking at pictures a couple days ago, and I just felt the sadness, the the confusion just of a mom. Dude, when he was only 3 months old, I'm like, how am I feeling it through the picture? I'm not in the picture. And it was scary. So I didn't look at the picture again until last night. And I just felt like the happiness coming back in. Because I'm like, I'm looking at my son like he's growing, like because of me and my boyfriends, because of us. But that realization of not taking care of yourself hurts so bad. Because like, why didn't I know
And they
this?
can, ooh,
Girl, like,
it can most definitely like
your
put
world
you.
is burning in the back. And I remember when we got to the hospital, we told the nurse for like, for breastfeeding, like, oh yeah, we lost our daughter. And she's telling my boyfriend, this is the time where you have to watch out for her mental health. If she's obsessive at looking at her pictures, you need to take her phone away. And to the day, I'll like my son, I'll be zooming in his picture because it's not obsessive, but it was bad at the beginning because it's like I missed that part of my daughter. And when her anniversary came, that's when I feel like I got into a mode where I started crashing because it's like, he's here, why isn't she? But I remember me and my boyfriend had a talk, and she's like, if she was here, he would never exist. So things happen for a reason. That's a sad quote, but girl, I could talk about this on and on. But yeah, it's a blessing, but it's a lesson also. A curse. But I'm taking it one day by day. But overall, like my mental health is a lot better than it was when he was like smaller. I can definitely like hold myself emotionally and mentally. I'm just very proud of myself, and I'd be telling people like my like doing TikToks make me very happy because music helped me with my mental health. Even when I was in high school, like if it wasn't for music, I wouldn't be here. So I'm like, I get really happy when people are like, oh, I like this song, or this is my favorite song. I'm like, oh, me too. Like I just like music is like a universal language. It doesn't matter what language you speak. All you're gonna do is bop in your head or dance. So that's for my PPD journey. So that's why I started doing TikTok and stuff like that. But I'm sorry if I'm talking away. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
As you guys know, sorry, my son is like screaming in the background, so I had to turn it down. Um, this is what Morning Mimosas is about, is for you guys to tell your stories. A lot of you guys know I lost a child in the uterus and outside. So I know that pain all too well. I lost my firstborn. It'll be 15 years July. So, and then, being a teenager and then having African parents and being pregnant and my parents trying to hide the secret from the rest of the world and stuff like that. So it's just, I know how that is. So you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone there. I'm with you. I've been there. If you ever want to talk about it, my door / texting is open because we're not in the same state, but
Yeah, that's how my parents were with my son and my daughter. They hid it. They didn't tell my family. Like to this day, most of my family don't know he exists, and I understand. But at the same time, I'm like, it's gonna happen. Like, oh, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story before we end. I started making Congolese content, and my cousin follows me. My heart dropped because my mom's like, no one's supposed to know he's born. So I'm making content, and I'm telling my boyfriend like, she's following me. I'm scared. I'm shitted because she's gonna tell her mom. And he's like, it's bound to happen. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like my boyfriend's like, it's okay. If it happens, it happens. I told my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's like, don't give the impression that you're hiding your son because it's gonna make it look bad. Like express your son in the way you're doing. So I said, cool. So fast forward, we're in January. I get a missed call from my mom. My mom does not call me unless something's wrong. But something tell me, call her. So I call her. She's on break. She's like, how are you? I'm good. Aunt Benna saw you on TikTok. She started crying because she saw you're losing weight. First of all, the reason I'm losing weight because I'm breastfeeding. Okay? I have no nutrition, so I'm sorry. She saw you. She said you look different. She sees the baby. She's upset with me. And I start crying, right? I'm like, I'm not harming the family's name. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing TikToks because I'm doing what I love. If I'm harming the family, that's understandable. If I'm saying bad about the name, I understand. But I'm not representing the family anything wrong.
Exactly.
And the reason why she was upset because in my mom's side of the family, it's like you finish school, you find somebody, you get married, then you have kids, and then And my dad told her, like, we're in a whole different generation. I'm
Thank
sorry, but hey,
you.
baby, if they want to have
Right.
kids and didn't get married, that's on them. Like, we cannot control these kids. Like my dad's always been like, okay, you know what? As soon as you get older, my hands, it's like, it's on you now. But if you need help, I'm here. I got you. You can turn. I'm right there. My mom is always the control. Like, she wants to be in control. So when I was pregnant the first time, she was like, "You do know there's a lot of baby mama and baby daddies in your dad's side, right?" I didn't care because I'm if I become one, so be it. If I'm not, haha. Like, basically, like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about my happiness.
Right.
So, like, my dad's
Exactly.
telling her, like, at the end of the day, it's her life. Like, we're in a new generation. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I hate to break it to you. So it's because she was just like, she told my dad, like, how did it happen? My dad's like, what do you mean, how did it happen? Like, how all other kids happen? Like, I'm sorry. So basically, I feel like she just wanted to tell my mom, like, why didn't you tell her to stop? Why did you tell her no? But it's like, I'm sorry, like,
That's right.
and like when I made a post where I was talking about my journey with my motherhood, my miscarriage, and I have a condition called it's like with the uterus, it's a heart-shaped uterus where it's common for women with that condition to have miscarriages or pre-labor, just
Mhm.
basically miscarriages are common unless you get a stitch that keeps the child alive. After 36, you remove it. And I remember I get comments like, why are you pregnant and you're not married? Why are you da da da? And I always comment, you don't even know me. What if I didn't want to get married?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, like, I am. But it's like, you don't even know me. Oh, why would you suffer this much for a boyfriend? I could never. You have your mom's last name. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be that person. And like, it's a new, like, it's a positive comment, positive video. You make it something so negative.
Mhm.
Like, I understand because black women, we go through so much. So it's like, hey, get married first. I understand. But you never know what goes in closed doors in these marriages.
Never. Right.
So I feel like that's why with this newer generation with women, it doesn't matter if they become a single mom or not. And even if they look at them in the way, they're like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do because as a black woman, we gotta do what we gotta do. We were taught that way, you know? And it's sad to say, it's always like, gotta keep our guard up. And whatever the world thinks of us, they think of us like that. Even if it's our own people, who cares? Because at the end of the day, if you become successful, something happens, like, oh, I know that person, oh, I love her. That's not what happens when they're at the bottom. So
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
you just got. Okay, you know what? This is Holly's show. I'm sorry. Go ahead, girl.
No, it is. I'm actually perfectly okay. We're actually gonna go ahead and close out with some affirmations that I found. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming on Morning Mimosas. Um, like I said, I'm gonna put the description to everybody's stuff in this episode. And as you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas, where we put value in criminal justice, promoting healing and education for our Black community. You guys stay tuned, and here are the affirmations.
Yes. I
Thank
love
All
it.
right.
you.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.
Be well.
Do what you waiting